Vernacular warfare.
There's nobody that I know of that qualifies as a lady. You know.
Really? How about Lady Di?
Whore. Your mom.
Well, my mother is pretty close, but my mom also has her flaws, and it's like.
What do you mean, lady? Like
really?
Like etiquette
etiquette and commands respect, and just has good morals, knows what she's doing, doesn't step on a lot of people's toes with what she's doing. Ladylike,
Nah, America.
I guess someone that carries themselves with grace.
Exactly.
Just flowing. But
can you learn grace, or is it just inherent?
No, you can learn
grace.
You can learn grace.
Grace.
Dear God, thank you for this food we're about to eat.
I was talking about Grace Chang.
Grace Chang.
I'm just kidding.
God, what an old-ass name.
Yeah. No, I mean,
throw up.
For the most part, I think you're
single?
born with it. A gentle spirit, something like that. But you can also be taught it. If you're taught it, it's not going to come off as smooth. But Paris Hilton is not graceful. I mean, she was born with that silver spoon, like, give me my shit,
Yeah.
as opposed to, I don't know.
Meryl Streep.
You think Paris Hilton's dumb? I mean, really? I think she's smart enough to at least play it off that she's a dumbass blonde. But, I'm saying somewhere deep inside, she knows what she's doing.
If you grow up in the Hilton family with that much money, I think some of that is inherent.
Right.
And you're brought up a certain way to know what the fuck's going on.
Did she go to school? Is she educated?
Oh, she's educated. That's why when you guys make fun of her, that the biggest word she knows is cat or whatever. Did you say
that's hot?
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah. I mean, it's not for me to say, but the way the media portrays it, and we all know there's manipulation by the media.
It's not
but,
reality.
There are people out there, like this chick Jessie Jane is a porn star, and she is one fucking sharp chick. I mean,
just like Jenna Jameson, she built
there you go.
Well, it's like those strippers that strip and buy homes. They do shit with their money. They're not the drug addict, mentality.
Or let me get a breast implant.
Well, that's just an investment, isn't it?
That might be an investment, but
I mean,
stripping her way through law school. I think that's an urban legend.
$100,000 a year,
Or at the cat house,
Well, that's this thing.
10 years.
This thing with Jessie Jane is she doesn't make as much money off of porn as she does her appearances. She does like 7 appearances a year in a strip club.
Gentlemen's
so it's not
club.
like, gentlemen's club, whatever. And that's where she makes her big time money. She's not just out there on any porn flick going, okay.
Well, that's using your noggin, using your noggin as opposed to like a girl that thinks she's got to fuck 5 times a day on film.
Well, that's pretty much that's the equivalent of her stripping at the strip club, making those featured dancer appearance is equivalent to an athlete making a good paycheck, but then his endorsements are what really sets him apart and make him
exactly
multi-hundred millionaire.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you got to be smart. These chicks are smart. They know what's up, and sex lately, make a lot of money off sex. Like Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, they made careers off fucking sex tapes.
Pamela Anderson. I heard
she was the first, right?
I heard that when she came down from Canada or whatever to do Baywatch, obviously the body and all that was the main attraction. But people on the set of Baywatch were like, you don't realize how sharp Pam is.
Yeah, she got discovered like at a Laker game or something like that.
Speaking of getting discovered, my daughter was hit up by some talent executive and given a card, and the card said, come Monday, which is today, 7 to 7:30, here's the address. So I just Googled online, did Google Maps, figure out what it was. It's this big building down in Century City.
Mm-hmm.
And I typed in the address, but it didn't give like a website or the actual suite number.
Oh, it's gotta have
it said 6th floor. So I said, all right, I don't know about this. My wife's asking me if we're going to take our daughter. I said, I don't know. I'm not sure. So I looked it up, and it's a acting school.
Oh no, they're gonna want to reel you in and pay for acting classes.
Money.
So I think I'll pass on that one.
I've been through a lot of those with my daughter. The first one I remember when she was a baby, we took her, and when I walked in, there was chicks spreading their pussy on TV. The guy changed the channel immediately when he saw the kid walked in, so I was just like,
Nah.
And as I walked out of that building, it might have been legitimate, but they did porno too and all that shit. So I was just like, out of here. And as I left the building,
trust your instincts.
I trust my instincts. I was just not interested when I saw that. And when we left, there was a lady outside who dropped. She dropped her purse, and things fell out. And I went to help her, and I think one of her
water
titties,
soluble lube.
Her one of her titties
plug.
popped out of her dress, and I was just like, "You're going to that building, aren't you?" And I helped her, and I was just like, let's get out of here,
Yeah.
Then other time there was the hook you into the acting school. They wanted $3,000 just to get you, that was tuition, and I'm thinking tuition.
That goes back to
back
to a basic rule of job hunting is you shouldn't have to pay to work somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been in those situations when they say, oh yeah, you can get in and you purchase this. I'm thinking, you're gonna have me purchase some shit? Are you kidding me? You want you want this quality product? Get me in the door.
Exactly. So what's up? You guys are the only single guys. I don't know if you need my advice or not, but I got some good advice. I used to be friends in the Air Force with this guy named Stefan. Ugliest man on earth. Coolest guy in the world, though. Coolest guy, man. He had, he had acne. He was an ugly guy. But this fool was a great athlete, could play basketball, football, anything. Great dancer, could sing, and he was hilarious. And he used to pull some quality women because he was talented. And I was like, how do you get these women? But he would get them at the club. He'd be dancing. He'd be singing to them. And I was like, all right, I understand now. So I picked up from him was to take women to your environment where you can showcase your talent. So after that, I brought the girls over to, hey, watch me play basketball. I got some skills. I got some talent. Watch me do my thing. And that always worked, man. So guys out there, you too, bring women into your house. Bring women into
That's
your
what I do.
Painter, tell them you'll serve them dinner at the restaurant.
Right. No, that's not my talent. I take them back to my apartment and show them that I could do tongue push-ups.
Tongue push-ups. Shit, when you only weigh 100 pounds and you're fucking 4'11", dude, it's not that hard. I used to do them when I was a fucking 7th grader, too.
One of my friend's sister's husband used to tell us when he was younger, they used to have boner contests. What they do is they figure out how many wet towels they can put on their dicks.
Oh, how strong the cock was.
Wow.
How many they can hold up.
I'd like to see them string up some bowling balls if they can.
There you go.
Wet towels, you said?
Wet towels.
Oh, shit. Wet towels.
Well, I'll just tell you one thing, dude.
Not
as
wet.
far as that goes,
wet blankets?
I need a big, strong cock to pick up my elephant balls.
Oh, man.
You have elephantitis.
Drained.
That's why they call it elephantitis.
Yeah.
But
that's whack. But going back to the talent thing.
Yeah, man.
I think that's a really smart thing to do. I don't have a whole lot of talents that are showcaseable.
Sure you do.
But
you do. You just got to tap into them.
Well, he's a great coach. He went undefeated, man. He's taking kids to championships. He's a great tennis coach. I'm like, invite those bitches out to the end of your practice. Show how you interact with the kids because that's talent. And next thing you know,
lots of talent,
panties
man.
are falling off right at center
that's
court.
That's the art of war, man. You gotta exercise your strong points.
Strengths.
You have to ambush the bush.
Know your weak points and
bush.
Sweep them under the rug.
After you sweep them off their feet, I'm telling you. Do it, man. If you guys can cook, cook. If you can sing, sing. If you know how to make money, spend your money. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
If you know how to shine your bald head, polish that like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Mr. Clean.
If you got big arms, show off your arms. I get it. I get it, all you douchebags out there, but having tattoos is not a talent.
Well, and even having muscles is not a talent. I mean, anybody could get fucking muscles.
Right. It shows hard work.
It shows discipline, that. You've been in there, and you're kind of you care about your appearance. Outwardly.
Yeah, don't be a complete fucking idiot though. Where
don't be a meatball.
Where it was raining, for the last 3 days, and you're wearing a tank top that you made at home.
Right.
Speaking of homemade clothing, that's my douchebag of the week.
Homemade clothing.
The guy who makes his own clothes.